Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Chase at Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and today we're going to help you find your next dual sport and adventure boot for 2022. All right, everyone, thank you for checking in to the Rocky Mountain YouTube channel. As you can see today, we're going to help you find your next dual sport adventure boot. We've got 6 really good options that are up here on the table. And when it comes to this category, if maybe you're new to it, there's definitely a few questions you want to ask yourself when you are shopping for a boot. You know, what type of riding are you going to be doing? Are you going to be mostly on the pavement? Are you a guy that likes to be off-road, standing up, working hard on the foot pegs? Do you do a lot of walking? Are you going to go to a destination and walk around a lot, maybe do a hike? There are definitely some good questions you want to ask yourself when you're looking for a pair of boots in this category. And today what we're going to do is go through and talk about all of these. And what's nice about this guide is that there is a boot in here that can fit the needs of every type of rider that is out there. So as we go through and talk about it, if you see 1, 2, maybe 3 that you're interested in, you know, watch the product spotlights. We're very detailed in those. We give all the good information that you need. Today, we're just going to be a little brief, just kind of cover a couple of the key reasons of why we put these in our guide. You can read rider reviews. You can also ask questions on the product page to get answers from customers who have bought and are using these exact boots. We've used a lot of these on the table, so if you want some more feedback from us, leave your questions in the comments section below. Now, with that being said, the first boot that we have up on the table, this is the Forma Adventure. This has been a staple in the adventure dual sport category for a long time, and for good reason. This thing is super comfortable, nice wide toe box. It also is the least expensive in the lineup today. And who the Adventure would be good for is a rider that just wants really good comfort. And if you're gonna be spending a lot of time off the bike, you know, if you're gonna be walking, maybe you wanna go to a destination and do a hike, this would be a really good option. The sole on the Adventure has the most flex of all the boots up here, which makes it great for walking. The one thing you want to keep in mind with that, however, is that they did not design this for aggressive off-road riding because of how much flex it has in the sole. So it's not going to be ideal if you're doing that type of riding. So there is a trade-off there. And also just looking at it, you can see they do have a little bit of molded protection here on the ankle, but it doesn't have as much lateral support as the other boots up here. So a couple things to keep in mind there. But again, super comfortable, great if you're off the bike and you just want a comfortable boot. From there, you have the Alpinestars Corozal. This is the oil version up here. Now this, you could say, is basically a direct competitor to the Forma Adventure. You bump up a little bit in price, but with the Adventure, again, a lot more flex in the sole, so a little bit stiffer than the Forma Adventure, but still enough flex that this thing is great if you're off the bike. And you can notice too that on the lateral side, they have a biomechanical hinge, so they do get a little bit more lateral support for the ankle in this than with the Forma Adventure. You've got a lug sole, kind of like a hiking boot. So again, those two boots are going to cater really well to the type of rider that is looking for that type of boot. Next up, you have the Forma Terra Evo. Now you're getting into a boot built for more aggressive riding. So if that's your cup of tea, this is where we start with that. So with the Forma Terra Evo, you can see a traditional stitched on sole, a lot stiffer than the first 2 boots that we showed you, which makes it great for standing up on the foot pegs, but not so great if you're off the bike walking. So there is that trade-off. But also when you look at it, you can see overall just a lot more protection with the Terra Evo. You've got a lateral hinge and a medial hinge, so better lateral support, and overall just more hard plastic, just offering better impact protection for the rider. Now one thing I do want to point out is that for the Adventure, the Terra Evo, and the Corozal, there is a low cut version of these, so if you like these boots but maybe don't want that full length, then be sure to check those out. From there you have the Fastback Enduro from Gaerne. This is a newer boot from Gaerne. It's been super popular. We have a rider here at Rocky Mountain that just wore one of these on a 1,000-mile adventure ride, and he loved it because on our types of ride that we do, if you've watched any of the adventure rides we do aggressive riding. We're always standing up, we're working hard on the bike, so we like a stiffer sole. And with the Fastback Enduro, the Fastback is actually a mid-level off-road motocross boot from Gaerne, and what they did is they took the exact same boot, they put their Enduro style sole on here for a little bit better grip if you're off the bike, but then they just toned it down. They did this nice oiled brown leather look. They toned down the G on here so it's just more subtle. So for riders that want an off-road boot but want a classy look, then that is who this is designed for. Keep in mind, stiff sole, not good for walking a lot, and this is the only boot up here that is not waterproof. That is one biggie that you do want to consider. Moving on from there, you have the Tech 7 Enduro Drystar. So the Tech 7 is, again, it's a mid-level motocross boot from Alpinestars. There's a lot of riders here at Rocky Mountain that wear this boot and they love it because it is super comfortable. Probably one of the most comfortable off-road motocross boots that is out there. And I love that Alpinestars answered the call for riders that wanted an off-road motocross boot with a lug sole or an Enduro sole, and also they wanted waterproof. And that's what you get here. You got the Drystar waterproof liner on the inside. And aside from that, it's basically a full-blown off-road motocross boot. We have riders that have worn these on adventure rides. They love it. Maybe not ideal for walking a lot, but for aggressive riding, it does awesome. It's comfortable, and again, it's gonna have that waterproof liner, which is awesome. Last but not least, you have the Sidi Adventure 2 Gore-Tex. Another rider here at Rocky Mountain that's had this boot for several years. It has held up awesome. And this is a boot that we kind of say is like the jack of all trades because it's got a good classic look to it. So it caters to the riders that want that classic dual sport adventure boot look. But when you look at it, you've got the stitched on sole. It's not going to be as stiff as the Fastback or the Tech 7, but it does have a little bit more flex. So it is a little bit better when you're off the bike. But it's still got enough stiffness that it's gonna be just fine if you're just standing up, if you're doing aggressive riding. You've got a hinge on the lateral and the medial side, so great lateral support for the ankle. And overall, she's got good protection. This thing looks awesome. And another cool feature about this, Gore-Tex waterproof liner, guaranteed to keep you dry, guaranteed for life. And the liner on the Adventure 2 Gore-Tex comes up higher than any of the other boots that are up here on the table. So if you're the person that maybe does some water crossings or, waterproofing is something high on your radar, this is probably the best that is up here on the table for that category. But that is it. That is our 2022 Dual Sport Adventure Boot Buyer's Guide. Like I said today, I was brief. Watch the product spotlights, consume that information. Also keep in mind we have our fit guarantee. All the boots up here, they are very comfortable boots. Again, that's subjective, however, so that's why we have our fit guarantee. If you buy one of these, if you don't like how it fits, you can send it back in brand new, unused condition, and we'll give you free shipping both ways on your first exchange, and we ship for free over 75 bucks. Let us know which one of these you plan to pick up next. If you have one of these, which one is it? Leave your feedback below in the comments section. That's gonna help other riders out there looking to pick up their next set. To grab one today, you can click on the link in the description or head over to RockyMountainATVMC.com. As always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and stay up to date because we have buyer's guides for all the major dual sport adventure categories, so be sure to check those out to get your gear for your next ride. I am Chase, and we'll see you on the trails.